What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. As I've mentioned several times on this channel before, that when I was a kid, I was strictly glued to the television, doing nothing but watching cartoons all day. It didn't matter what channel, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, I watched it all. Whether that be SpongeBob, Sonic X, Ben 10, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, just to name a few. Growing up seeing these shows, I'm so glad I got to experience a lot of them. Cartoons today, in my opinion, kind of play down kids' knowledge, in my opinion, getting it down to a level to the point to where it's borderline condescending them. So in today's climate of cartoons, I really just pay no attention to it. However, there is one new cartoon that has been sticking out from the rest of them, and I just couldn't escape it. One I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, and if you can't read the title or see the thumbnail of this video, then you still have no idea what it is. I'm of course talking about Bluey. Now everywhere I went, I would see nothing but Bluey stuff. Bluey toys, Bluey books, heck, there's even Bluey toothpaste at my local Family Dollar. So there was no escaping this blue dog, and that actually kind of fascinated me a bit. If I was seeing this character everywhere on the levels that I was seeing SpongeBob everywhere, what was this show Bluey really all about? So while being everywhere, I actually haven't seen anything about this show. When looking at it at first glance, I do like the art style and I do like how everything looks. It looks like a really cute kids show. But other than seeing some pictures online that make it look like any other generic kids show that comes out in this day and age, but seeing it everywhere made me wonder, what was all the Bluey hype all about? So I had to figure it out myself. And luckily for me, there is a Bluey YouTube channel. I mean, doesn't really surprise me, but yes, there is a Bluey YouTube channel. They uploaded 2 videos on here, just a couple episodes from seasons 1 and 2 compiled, nothing special. But however, I will say this is the perfect way to get into the show, and admittedly, I was pretty hooked on it. I just loved what I saw so much, and after debating with myself and my girlfriend, I now own Bluey Season 1 and 2 on DVD. I just had to find out more without investing into a streaming service. Bluey is actually pretty amazing, and I was actually pretty blown away with how well the show is written. The show is written in a typical slice of life style, starring Bluey, her sister Bingo, her parents Bandit and Chili. And sure, while there are other cast members in this world and they do interact with Bluey and the folks, I'm just mostly gonna focus on these guys because the healers are the main characters. But what's also really cool about this is that they actually feel like a genuine family. And I like how the parents don't just force feed dialogue and good lessons into the kid's brain, they actually try to teach him something, and that's what really makes Bluey stand out to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, Bluey does do that on an occasion, but for the most part, no, it doesn't, and that's what kind of makes Bluey a little special. Not only does the show get you invested like immediately, but it also helps that it's beautifully animated. Every scene feels like they got their own separate budget for it, and I really dig that. That's actually really cool, and it makes the show feel a bit more unique. Bluey likes to do these specific zoomed in moments, and they like to do it a couple times on the show. And I don't know if it's just me, but these look unnaturally smooth, like it's in 60 frames for some reason. I don't know. However, the fluidity looks really well done, so I just gotta give them credit for that. Not only do they look unreasonably smooth, but they're also really detailed as well, giving all the dogs specific hairs, and I like that touch. With all these things into factor, Bluey is a slice of life show that does things right. And I'm not even sure who this show is even marketed toward anymore, because I know there are a ton of adult Bluey fans, and I guess you're kinda looking at one. After buying Bluey Season 1 and 2 on DVD, my girlfriend and I made it our mission to sit down and binge this, and that's exactly what we did. All 103 episodes and the Australian originals just for good measure with all the Bluey bits. And we loved every moment of this show. I don't think there's a bad episode in either one of these seasons, but that might have something to do with the runtime as well. Being 7 to 10 minute episodes can feel like they're flying, like you're a fruit bat. A little over a year ago, I did a SpongeBob video kinda similar to this one, and just like that SpongeBob video, I'm gonna be giving my top 5 episodes for the season. Now there are 3 seasons in Bluey. I haven't finished all of season 3 yet, so I'm not going to really be talking about season 3. I will say though, season 3 is off to a great start. We're just going to be talking about the first 2 seasons and 5 episodes I like from each of them. In no particular order, a couple of my favorites from season 1 are Fruit Bat, Blue Mountain, Pirates, Faradan, Santa, and Camping. Season 2 is Daddy Drop Off, Trains, Army, Double Babysitter, Cafe. Now, just like the SpongeBob video, this was an incredibly hard list to make because I have 50 episodes per season to go through, and I only had to pick a couple just to get a point across. I'm not happy with my decisions either. There are at least 45 more episodes on each season that are just as good. But as I was watching Bluey, a thought kept creeping in the back of my mind. Since the show is based on kids, I wonder if Bluey and Bingo will evolve with the series. Is the show going to be in a time loop like a lot of other shows were, or was it actually going to show a passing of time in the show, kinda letting kids grow with the characters? I'm a big sucker for shows that do that, and I was wondering if Bluey was going to do it, since season 1 and 2 didn't really give much unless you were paying attention. At the start of the show, Bluey is 6 and Bingo is 4. Now, while in season 1 nothing really happens and the characters stay that age as you know you would for a first season, season 2 is when some things actually start taking a little bit of development here. Bingo does turn 5 in season 2, and canonically she stays 5 for the rest of the series until they change it again. Also, another thing worth noting is that another character in season 1 and 2 named Socks, Bluey and Bingo's cousin, walks on all 4, which is unusual to begin with because no dog in the world, even when they showed the Bluey baby episode, walked on all 4, so I don't know what the case is with Socks. Socks doesn't talk at all and walks on all 4, but slowly throughout the show you get to see Socks eventually grow up a little bit and start talking, and does eventually run on both hind legs. I was really hoping this wouldn't be an Amazing World of Gumball thing. If you know what I'm talking about, I'm obviously talking about that Darwin and Gumball. They get like 3 to 4 different voice actors through that entire show, and they do it in funny ways where you don't really notice the transition, but still it's worth noting that with a show like The Amazing World of Gumball, where it's timeless in its own little world, the real voice actors who are kids are going to grow up. And while Bluey does like to do its time skips, this was something that worried me, and watching a little bit of season 3, I don't think we have to worry about that. I think the creators are actually going to let the characters grow in the show, and I have to say, that's actually really exciting. A new kids cartoon where the kids get to grow up with the characters of the show they love. That's awesome. Bluey is a really special show, and damn, I don't know if it's just me, but Bluey like really hits you in the feels like almost all the time, sometimes just back to back. The show loves to tug on your heartstrings, and it's not afraid to do that constantly. But when they do moments like this, it does make you feel good in the end, because it's nice to see these characters accomplish something or conquer a problem. It is really nice, and you do root for them a lot. It also helps that the family is just so likable. Bluey, Bingo, Bandit, and Chili are all just very likable characters that you want to see more of. And it also helps that they do feel like a family, like I mentioned earlier. Every time they interact with each other, you can feel that there's like genuine history there, and it's kind of rare to capture something like that in a show like this, but Bluey does it well. It helps that the show's creator did base this off of his real life and his own experience raising his own daughters. So I imagine once you've been doing that for so long, you kind of have a lot of material to work with to develop a show like Bluey, and it paid off. I hope this show has a bright future ahead of it. I don't think it has any sign of stopping because the creator has even said that and wants to continue it, so that's really exciting. So if you haven't checked out Bluey, I completely recommend you doing so. It's actually a surprisingly decent cartoon with a surprisingly big adult audience. And hey, it is sticking around for a while, so you might as well get comfy and check out some of the material that Bluey has to offer, like the YouTube channel I brought up earlier. And also, while you're watching Bluey, the show likes to throw a couple curveballs at you to keep you on your toes, breaking a lot of traditional cartoon traditions. Like for one episode and one episode only, they changed the theme song so Bingo could be the star of the episode, and me and my girlfriend were just so bewildered. We're like, what? Whoa! Cartoons don't do that. Bluey is an easy recommendation. You should definitely check it out. And if you have checked Bluey out already and you do like what you see, then I recommend checking out the pilots. Some of the pilots are up on YouTube and they have leaked, and it is kind of cool to see this show in such an early state. But guys, that is going to do it for me today. Have you guys seen Bluey? Have you guys watched it at all? Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and hey, I'll get to you when I get to you. I have an Instagram, I have a Twitter, and you can go follow me. Both of those links will be in the description down below. And hey, while you're down there, can I get you to hit that like button? Can we try to get this video up to 10 likes? That'll be much appreciated. And hey, while you're down there, can I get you to hit that subscribe button and the bell for post notifications, because I wouldn't want you to miss a single upload of mine, and it takes like 3 seconds, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, now this is nothing crazy or anything like that, but I am also on Patreon. Yes, I have a Patreon now, because I do all of this by myself on top of having a job. So if you want to see more of my work and you want to consider helping out, go down to the link below and consider donating to my Patreon. I would greatly appreciate that, like 100%. You don't have to, but it would help out the channel a lot. I do have some tiers set up that you guys can go donate to if you want, but just know that the Patreon is a work in progress, and I do plan to update it more, starting with this video. So people who subscribe to my Patreon actually got a little preview for this Bluey video coming out, and will get one for all future videos to come, along with thumbnails and maybe some other early access stuff too. I'm still trying to figure it all out. Now that's just for the $5 tier. Now if you want to go above and beyond, there is the $20 tier, which gives you access to all previous perks, and you get the choice to pick a video topic. I do have a $1 tier, but that's just for a general thank you, and I appreciate your contribution. So if that sounds interesting to you, then why don't you go ahead and hit subscribe to my Patreon. Thank you. Well guys, with all that said, I'm going to get on out of here, and you take care.